In today's lecture, we are going to study one of the most important concepts in theory of computation, the difference between deterministic finite automata and non-deterministic finite automata. Although these two models appear different, they recognize exactly the same class of languages. The key difference lies in how they process the input and make decisions. In this lecture, we will understand their mathematical definitions, compare their characteristics, explore the real world examples, and see how these concepts relate to the modern artificial intelligence. Let us begin with a simple question. How many ways can a system make a decision? Suppose a machine receives an input. Should it always follow exactly one path, or it can explore several possible paths simultaneously? A deterministic finite automata always has exactly one possible transition for every input symbol. Interestingly, the mathematical representation is almost identical for both deterministic and the non-deterministic finite automata. It is represented by a 5 tuple M, where Q is the finite set of states, the sigma finite alphabet set, delta is the transition table, Q naught is the initial state, and capital F is the final state. So here if you see in this diagram, you can see from Q naught, that is the starting state. If you give input 0, it goes to transits to Q1, and if there is an input of 1 at Q naught, then the transition is made to the state Q2. Here the final state is not clear, because if it is a final state, then you will have double circle, that is the concentric circle. Here we are just showing you the transition for from one state to another state depending on the input symbol. In contrast, the non-deterministic finite automata may have several possible transitions from the same state on the same input. So the idea of exploring multiple possibilities is what makes NFA conceptually different from the DFA. Here if you see the states, final states, here the transition can be from the, there are two in the transition. We take one is the state, another is the input alphabet. So the Q is the set of states and sigma is the alphabets used in that language. So here the possibilities are 2 to the power q. So here again if you see the demonstration here, this is the initial state. So once you have initial state, there is an arrow q naught. For the same input 0, there is a transition to q2. For the same input 0, there is a transition from q naught to q1 as well. So instead of mapping to a single state, the transition function maps to the power set of states. So mathematically, delta, which takes the q into sigma, it gives you possibilities 2 to the power q. That is all the possible subsets of this state set. And therefore, NFA may move to 0, 1, several states simultaneously for the same symbol. So this table summarizes the major difference between the DFA and NFA. In DFA, every state has exactly one transition for each input symbol. In NFA, there may be 0, 1 or multiple transitions. The transition function for DFA maps to a single state, and if the NFA can map to a set of states. DFA does not allow epsilon transition. Epsilon means there is the zero transitions when the input is not from any of the alphabet set. It is epsilon. Then there can be one of the transition, that is the NFA. Conceptually, the NFA can explore multiple possibilities simultaneously, and however, both models have the same computational power and recognize exactly the same regular languages. And the NFAs are easier to design, whereas DFAs are usually easier to execute. Let us connect these concepts with everyday systems. Consider an ATM. The workflow follows a fixed sequence. First, it will be idle. Once the card is inserted, you have to enter the PIN. It will get, the system will authenticate. Then you can perform any of the transaction like withdrawal or the summary, and then exit. So at every stage, there is exactly one next state. Similarly, consider the traffic signal. The sequence is always the red, green, yellow, and back to red. Again, there is only one valid transition at every step. Another example is the login authentication. The user enters the username and then the password, finally receives success or a failure. So, all these systems are deterministic, and because they always have one well defined next state. Now, let us consider the situations where multiple possibilities exist. Suppose you search for the word jaguar in Google. Initially, the search engine may interpret it as an animal, the car, the operating system, or a sports team. Similarly, when an AI chatbot receives the request, book me a ticket, it may initially consider flights, trains, buses, or movies before selecting the correct interpretation using the user's context. Then, medical diagnosis also works in a similar manner. So, a patient with fever may have all these reasons. So, there can be one symptom for multiple diseases. The doctors consider multiple hypotheses before arriving at the final diagnosis. Then comes the robot navigation, also evaluate several alternative paths before selecting the best route. So these examples conceptually resemble the behavior of an NFA. So this comparison helps us relate automata theory to artificial intelligence. Traditional software follows the deterministic rule. The traditional software will follow deterministic rule. Given an input, it executes the predefined logic and produces an output. AI systems work differently. Instead of following one exact rule, they assign probabilities to several possible outcomes and choose the most likely prediction. The traditional computing is deterministic and rule based. AI computation is probabilistic and hypothesis driven. Although AI systems appear non deterministic, they still operate within the deterministic software frameworks. This is very important. AI systems are, it doesn't mean the AI systems are totally overall probabilistic. A part may be probabilistic, but it is a part of the software framework, which is usually a deterministic one. So, when should we use a DFA and when an NFA is more appropriate? So, a DFA is preferred whenever the behavior is predictable, correctness is mandatory, safety is critical, workflows are predefined, like banking system, compilers, login authentication, communication protocols, embedded controllers, and aircraft control systems. Coming to the NFA, it is useful when multiple alternatives must be considered, the search space is uncertain, pattern matching is required, or ambiguity exists. Applications include the matching, information retrieval, search engines, natural language processing, planning, and AI reasoning. So, in practice, modern intelligent systems combine deterministic workflows with probabilistic AI models. User's request first passes through a deterministic workflow that manages the overall process. An AI model then generates the predictions or the recommendations. Finally, deterministic validation checks the output before presenting it to the user. Here we can have the human in the loop, or we can match it with the ground truth, human ground truth, to know the effectiveness of the AI system, whether it is correct or not, how effective it is, how trustworthy it is. So, this architecture is widely used in systems such as ChatGPT, Google Search, Amazon recommendation engines, Tesla's autonomous driving systems, and many intelligent robots. So, the deterministic computation ensures reliability while AI provides the intelligent decision making. NFA model situations where multiple computational probabilities exist simultaneously. This provides a compact representation of ambiguity, alternatives, and pattern matching. Although DFA and NFA appear different, they recognize exactly the same class of regular languages. In modern computing, deterministic automata coordinate reliable workflows, while AI models perform probabilistic reasoning. Together, they form the foundation of many trustworthy intelligence systems. In the next lecture, we'll continue our study of non deterministic computation and explore how every NFA can be systematically converted to an equivalent DFA, proving that both the models recognize exactly the same regular languages. Thank you for your attention.